Please be seated. Well, Mr. President, it's good to see you again, my friend. We've met several times over the last year, and each time we have deepened our nation's partnership, and for the benefit, I think, of both our peoples. Today's no exception. Our nation's relationship has been a great success story. The alliance formed in war and has flourished in peace. Seemingly every day, we've launched new areas of cooperation on cyber, strategic technologies, space, democracy, and all the areas that matter most to our future. Because of its core, our alliance is about building a better future for all of our people. And there's no better example than our economic relationship and partnership, which is delivering incredible benefits to both our nations. Through the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, we're advancing economic growth grounded in high standards for our workers, for the environment, and for communities throughout the region. We're standing together against economic influence being leveraged in coercive ways. And since I took office, Korean companies have invested more than $100 billion in the United States, driving innovation and spurring good new jobs for Americans and Korean workers. Our mutual defense treaty is ironclad, and that includes our commitment to extended deterrence, and that includes the nuclear threat and the nuclear deterrent. They're particularly important in the face of DPRK's increased threats and a blatant violation of U.S. sanctions. At the same time, we continue to seek serious and substantial diplomatic breakthroughs with the DPRK to bolster stability on the peninsula, reduce the threat of proliferation, and address our humanitarian and human rights concerns for the people of the DPRK. The Republic of Korea and the United States are working together, including through our trilateral cooperation with Japan, to ensure the future of the Indo-Pacific is free, is open, prosperous, and secure. I want to thank you again, Mr. President, for your political courage and personal commitment to diplomacy with Japan. I've worked on these issues for a long time, and I can tell you it makes an enormous difference when we all pull together. I also welcome and support your administration's new Indo-Pacific strategy. It's a strategy that affirms how aligned our two nations are and our visions of the region and how similar they are. Today, we discussed our work together on promoting peace and stability in the Taiwan Straits, ensuring freedom of navigation in the South China Sea and beyond. Excuse me. I also affirmed our shared commitment, we together shared our firm shared commitment to stand with the people of Ukraine against Russia's brutal assault on their freedom, their territorial integrity, and democracy. The Republic of Korea's strong support for Ukraine is important because Russia's flagrant violation of international law matters to nations everywhere in the world, not just in Europe. When it comes right down to it, it's about what you believe, what you stand for, what kind of future you want for your children and grandchildren. And right now, I believe the world's at an inflection point. The choices we make today, I believe, are going to determine the direction of our world and the future of our kids for decades to come. That's why this partnership is so important, Mr. President, because we share the same values, the same vision. And I greatly appreciate, Mr. President, that the Republic of Korea co-chaired the second Summit on Democracies last month, and they will host the third Summit for Democracies. We both understand that our democracies and our people are our greatest source of strength, and working together, they make our nation stronger and more effective. From tracking the climate crisis and strengthening our effort to fight it, and strengthening global health, no two countries are better suited to meet the challenges ahead than the Republic of Korea and the United States. I want to thank you again, Mr. President. for your friendship, your partnership, and all you've done to help build a future of shared strength and success. The floor is yours, Mr. President.
President Biden, thank you for your special and warm hospitality. I am very pleased to be making a state visit to the United States during this meaningful year that marks the 70th anniversary of the ROK-US alliance. Our two countries have overcome challenges and crises during the past 70 years based on the deep roots of freedom and democracy, building a value alliance that is strong, resilient, and sustainable. We are now being threatened by an unprecedented polycrisis. The ROK-US alliance is jointly overcoming this crisis, also coming from North Korea, as a righteous alliance that contributes to world peace and prosperity. We will further expand the depth and denotation of the ROK-US Global Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and march forward to the future. Today, President Biden and myself engaged in constructive dialogue to discuss ways to materialize
포괄적
this
전략
shared
동맹의
vision.
깊이와
The outcome of our
외연을
dialogue is
더욱
well
확장하고
outlined in the
미래로
joint
전진해
statement
나갈
adopted
것입니다.
today.
저는 오늘 바이든 대통령님과 이러한
key
공동의
outcome is
비전을
sustainable
구체화해
defense.
나가기 위한 방안에 대해
Sustainable peace on the Korean
아주
Peninsula
건설적인
does not
대화를
happen
나눴습니다.
automatically.
이러한 우리
Our
대화의
two leaders have
결과는
decided to
오늘
significantly
채택된
strengthen
공동
extended
성명에
deterrence of our two
잘
countries
담겨 있습니다.
against North Korea's nuclear and missile
첫
threats,
번째
so
핵심
that we can
성과는
achieve peace
확장
through the
억제입니다.
superiority of overwhelming
한반도의
forces
지속
and not a
가능한
false
평화는
peace
저절로
based
이루어지는
on
것이
the
아닙니다.
goodwill of
우리
the
두
other
정상은
side.
북한의 핵 미사일 위협에
Such a will
직면하여
and commitment is
상대방의
captured
선의에
in the Washington
기대는
Declaration.
가짜 평화가
President
아닌
Biden has
압도적인
reaffirmed his
힘의
ironclad
우위를 통한
commitment to
평화를
extended
달성하기 위해
deterrence towards
양국
the
간
Republic of
확장
Korea.
억제를
Our two
획기적으로
countries have
강화하기로
agreed
했습니다.
to immediate bilateral
이러한
presidential
의지를
consultations
워싱턴
in the event of
선언에
North Korea's nuclear
담았습니다.
attack and
바이든
promised to respond
대통령님은
swiftly,
한국에 대한
overwhelmingly, and
철통 같은
decisively using the full
확장
force of the
억제
alliance,
공약을
including the
재확인했습니다.
United States nuclear
한미
weapons.
양국은 북한의
Our two
핵 공격
countries
시
have
즉각적인
agreed to
정상 간
establish
협의를 갖기로 했으며
a
이를 통해
nuclear
미국의
consultative
핵무기를 포함하여
to map
동맹의
out a
모든
specific plan
전력을
to
사용한
operate the new extended
신속하고
deterrence system.
압도적이며
Our two countries will share
결정적인
information
대응을
on
취하기로
nuclear and strategic
약속했습니다.
weapon
한미 양국은
operations plans in
새로운
response to
확장
North
억제
Korea's
시스템을
provocations and to
구체적으로
have regular
작동시키기
consultations on
위해
ways to plan and execute
핵
joint
협의
operations that
그룹을
combine Korea's
창설하기로
state-of-the-art
했습니다.
conventional forces with
이제
US
한미
nuclear
양국은
capabilities,
북한의 위협에
the
대응하여
results of which will be
핵과
reported
전략무기 운영
the
계획에 대한
leaders of our
정보를
two
공유하고
countries on a regular basis.
한국의
In
첨단
addition, our two
재래식
countries have
전력과
agreed to
미국의
further
핵전력을
advance
결합한
tabletop
공동
exercises
작전을
against a
함께
potential
기획하고
nuclear crisis.
실행하기 위한 방안을
In addition,
정기적으로
deployment
협의할
of the United
것이며
States strategic
그
assets to
결과는
the
양
Korean
정상에게
Peninsula will be made
보고될 것입니다.
constantly and routinely.
양국은 또한 핵
President
위기
Biden
상황에
and I
대비하기
will
위한
continue to cooperate
도상
to
시뮬레이션
strengthen
훈련을
extended deterrence
더욱
between our two
발전시켜
countries
나아가기로 했습니다.
based on our historical
그리고 미
and
전략
concrete
자산의
agreement
한반도 전개도
reached during our summit.
정기적이고 지속적으로 이루어질
Second,
것입니다.
our two leaders have agreed to
저와
further
바이든
strengthen the
대통령은
strategic partnership
이번
in economic
회담에서
security,
이루어진
which is
이러한
directly related to
역사적이고
the national
구체적인
economies of our
합의를
two
바탕으로
countries.
양국 간
President
확장
Biden
억제
and
강화를
I
위한
welcomed the
협력을
expansion of our
계속해
firm's
나갈
bilateral
것입니다.
mutual investment in advanced
다음으로
technology,
우리 두
including
정상은
semiconductors,
양국의
electric
국민
vehicles, and
경제와
batteries.
직결된 경제 안보 분야에서 전략적
President
파트너십을
Biden has said
한층
that no
강화하기로
special
했습니다.
support and considerations will be
저와
spared
바이든
for Korean
대통령은
companies'
최근
investment and
반도체,
business
전기차,
activities in
배터리를
particular.
포함한 첨단 기술
We have
분야에서
agreed to consult
양국
and
기업 간
coordinate closely
상호
so that
투자가
the U.S.
확대되고 있는
Inflation
것을
Reduction Act
환영하였습니다.
and the CHIPS and
바이든
Science Act can
대통령은
further
특히
strengthen supply chain
한국
cooperations
기업들의
between the two
투자와
countries
사업
in
활동에
advanced
특별한 지원과 배려를
technology.
아끼지 않을 것이라고 했습니다. 우리는 미국의
Furthermore, we
인플레이션
plan on ramping up
감축법과
partnerships in cutting-edge
반도체
technology.
과학법이 첨단 기술 분야에서
We
양국
have
간
agreed to
공급망
establish
협력을
a dialogue
더욱
for
강화시켜 나아갈 수
next-generation
있도록
emerging and core technology
긴밀한
between
협의와
the U.S. National
조율을
Security
해
Council and the
나가기로
Korea Office of
했습니다.
National Security pertaining to
양국
chips,
간
batteries,
첨단 기술
biotechnology,
분야
quantum science,
파트너십도
and other
더욱
cutting-edge
강화될
technologies with the
것입니다.
aim of promoting joint R&D
한미
and
국가안보실에
experts exchange.
차세대 신흥
We
핵심
have
기술
also
대화를
adopted
신설해서
a separate joint
이러한
statement for
협의체를 통해
strengthening
반도체,
cooperation in the
배터리,
rapidly emerging
바이오,
quantum science
퀀텀
and
등
technology
첨단
domain.
기술 관련 공동 연구 개발과
President
전문
Biden
인력
and
교류를
I have also
촉진시키기로
agreed
했습니다.
to get the ball rolling on discussions
또한
about
떠오르는
expanding our
첨단
alliance
기술
into cyber
분야인
and space by
양자
applying
과학
the
기술
mutual
분야에서
defense treaty
양국
in
간 협력
cyberspace
강화를
and
위한
space as
별도의
well.
공동 성명도 채택했습니다. 저와 바이든 대통령은
We have
앞으로
also agreed
한미
that the
동맹이
strategic
사이버,
cybersecurity
우주
cooperation
영역으로
framework
확장될 수
adopted this
있도록
time around will
한미
serve as
상호
the
방위
foundation on which
조약을
we address cyber
사이버
threats together
우주
and
공간에
boost
적용하기
cooperation
위한
in information sharing,
논의도
collection, and
개시하기로
analysis.
했습니다. 이번에
Space is another
채택된
area that
전략적
shows
사이버
great
안보
promise for
협력 프레임워크를
cooperation
통해
between our two
한미
countries.
양국이 사이버
During my time
위협에
here,
공동
I was able to
대응하고
visit the
정보
NASA
공유,
Goddard Space
수집,
Center.
분석과
President Biden
관련된
welcomed the
협력도
establishment of
심화해
CASA,
나가기로 했습니다.
and we have agreed
우주
to
분야
promote
역시
cooperation
양국
between
간
CASA
협력
and
잠재력이
NASA.
큰 분야입니다. 저는 이번 방미
We
계기에
have also
나사
agreed to
고다드
accelerate
우주센터를
discussions on
방문했습니다.
reaching a reciprocal
바이든
defense
대통령은
procurement agreement,
우리의
which
우주
is
항공청
equivalent to an
신설을
FTA in
환영했으며
terms of national defense.
우리는
Meanwhile,
우주
President
항공청과
Biden and I
나사
have
간
agreed
협력을
to promote
적극
exchange
추진해
between
나가기로
the future
했습니다.
generations of our two countries.
국방
To
분야
this end, we
FTA라 할 수
have
있는
launched the
국방
U.S.
상호
ROK
조달
Special
협정
Exchange
체계를 위한
Initiative for
협의로
youths.
가속화해 나가기로 했습니다.
In celebration of the
저와 바이든
70th
대통령은
anniversary of the ROK-US
양국
alliance
미래
this
세대
year,
교류를
our two
적극
countries plan
뒷받침해
to
나가기로
invest a
했습니다.
total
이러한
of
노력의
$60
일환으로
million to support
한미
exchanges
청년
between
특별 교류 이니셔티브를
2,023 youths majoring in
출범시켰습니다.
STEM, humanities, and social sciences.
2023년
This
한미
also
동맹
includes
70주년을
the
기념하여
largest Fulbright program to
2023명의
date, which will provide
이공계
scholarships for
및
200
인문
students.
사회 분야 청년들 간의
Last but not least,
교류를 위해
President Biden and I
양국이
have agreed that
총
South Korea
6천만
and the
불을
United
투자할
States,
계획입니다.
as key partners in
여기에는
achieving stability and
200명의
building peace in the
학생들을
Indo-Pacific
지원하는
region,
역대
will put
최대
our heads
규모의
together as we implement our
풀브라이트 장학
Indo-Pacific
사업도
strategies to strengthen
포함시키기로
our
했습니다.
cooperation in
마지막으로
addressing
저와 바이든
regional
대통령은
and global
인도
challenges.
태평양 지역의 안정과 평화 구축을
In
위한
particular, President
핵심
Biden
파트너로서
expressed strong support for
양국의
efforts made
인태
by the
전략
Korean
이행
government to
과정에서
normalize
더욱
Korea-Japan
긴밀히
relations.
협력하고
And we have agreed to
지역과
continue our
글로벌
efforts in
도전 과제
strengthening
해결을 위한
Korea-US
공조를
Japan
심화해
trilateral
나가기로
cooperation.
했습니다. 바이든
Furthermore,
대통령은 특히
We
한일 관계
reaffirmed
정상화를
that the use
위한
of force to
우리
take the
정부
lives of
조치를
innocent people, an
강력히
example of which would be
지지했으며
Russia's invasion
우리
of
두
Ukraine,
정상은
can in no
한미일
circumstances
3국
whatsoever
협력
be
강화를
justified.
위한
In that
노력을
sense, we
지속하기로
agreed to continue our
했습니다.
cooperation and efforts
우리는
alongside
러시아의
international
우크라이나
community to
침공과
support
같이
Ukraine.
무고한 인명 피해를
During this
야기하는
meeting,
무력
we
사용은
also discussed
어떠한
plans
경우에도 정당화될 수
through which our
없다는
two countries can
공동
take a
입장을
leadership role in
확인하고
addressing global challenges
국제사회와
such as
함께
climate change,
우크라이나를
international
지원하기
development,
위한 협력을
and energy
지속해
and
나아가기로
food security.
했습니다. 이 외에도
I am
저와
delighted
바이든
that through
대통령은
today's meeting,
기후변화
we've opened
대응,
up a new chapter
국제
for the
개발
next
협력,
70 years of the
에너지와
ROK-US
식량 안보 등
alliance.
주요 글로벌
I
이슈에
hope
관해
President Biden and I,
양국이 주도적 역할을
with the support
수행하기
of
위한 방안에
people
대해
in our two
협의했습니다.
countries,
오늘 바이든 대통령과
I
회담을
am
통해
delighted that
한미
through today's
동맹
meeting, we've
70년
opened up a
역사의
new chapter
새로운
for the
장을
next
열게 된
70
것을
years of the ROK-US
기쁘게 생각합니다.
alliance.
아울러
I
저와
hope
바이든
President Biden and I,
대통령은 자유사회를 위한 우리의 신념과 비전이 일치함을 다시 확인했습니다. 오늘 우리가 마련한 미래로 전진하는 행동하는 한미 동맹의 청사진을 바이든 대통령님 그리고 양국 국민들과 함께 충실히 이행해 나가기를 희망합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Now we're going to take some questions. The first question is from Courtney of the Los Angeles Times.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your top economic priority has been to build up U.S. domestic manufacturing in competition with China. But your rules against expanding chip manufacturing in China is hurting South Korean companies that rely heavily on Beijing. Are you damaging a key ally in the competition with China to help your domestic politics ahead of the election? And one for President Yoon. There have been concerns since last year that North Korea will soon be conducting its 7th nuclear test amid growing domestic support in your country for your own nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, Russia has suggested it could send its latest weapons to North Korea if South Korea sends lethal aid to Ukraine. How do you seek to manage the